This title is fucking insane. Police discover a killer's hidden torture forest? How do you have a whole forest?
What do you mean? If you live in an area that's your property,
and you use the whole forest as a torture chamber?
I mean, I could see that. Yeah. You have to go at night.
Shit.
You can't go during the day.
SO389 dispatch. I've located the body. The scene's about 50 yards on a trail.
This lone cop just discovered a body in the middle of the woods.
What is that? Sounds like it's heading this way.
5 feet from the knife, up the top of the body, carving the blood of the place.
10-4, signal 7. Please send another unit to my location.
What he doesn't know yet is that the lifeless man in front of him has been tortured for hours by the twisted man hiding in this very forest.
Whoever did this, that's fresh.
There's a little eyeball right here.
That's some creepy shit right here.
Smell this right here. You don't smell gas right here?
Yeah.
They're gonna torture him?
I'm not sure what it is, but I've got movement east of my location in the woods. There's something moving around back this way.
He carries 3 or 4 knives on him. He thinks he's Rambo.
You're what? I'm just like a god.
Bro, I understand that there's several cops there, but like, you're just standing around. I'd have a fucking shotgun out. What if there's some lunatic out there? There's a madman on the loose, and you're just going, yeah. What?
Well, that's the first thing I thought is like, bro, if I'm in that scenario, I'm the first cop on the scene. I'm not looking around, bro. I'm running away. I'm hopping in the car, and then I'm calling backup. I'm not sitting out in the open.
I mean,
hey, we're gonna need another unit. Buddy, there's a guy torturing people out here.
I mean, torturing them and dismembering them and everything else in the middle of the forest, and you're just wandering around. Bro, are you kidding me?
Why am I getting called a coward? Okay, you go have fun exploring the torture forest, bro. Have fun with that shit, bro. I'm gonna be safe in the car.
I love these fucking dudes sitting there typing shit. They're sitting there in their fucking underwear like a tough guy.
It's December.
I'm actually in boxer briefs, not underwear. That is underwear, bro.
It is underwear, Einstein.
That's underwear. Okay, buddy?
23rd, 2022, and Officer Azure has just received a 911 call from a distraught man reporting that he's found...
Like, that comment just pissed me off, because it's like those people who are like,
what?
You say it's like 5:30, and they're like, well, actually, it's 5:31. Like, really, bro? Like, you're a fucking asshole.
That's the same guy who, like, says stupid shit in a group, and people don't want to make them feel bad, so they laugh, and they just, but then somewhere along the line, they continue doing it. Oh my God.
His best friend's lifeless body in the middle of the Lake Jackson forest. Officer Azure, along with a group of first responders, quickly arrive at the scene.
Okay, y'all stay right there.
Here they encounter Jamie, the 911 caller, and his best friend Robert, both of whom urgently want to show the officer where their dead friend is. Considering the serious circumstances, Officer Azure decides to follow Robert into the forest, despite being alone.
389, I'm 10-12 with him. What? Just give me a minute. I'm 10-12 with 2 of them. Head down
You're
and
gonna
take a
just
look.
wander into the forest with a guy you have no idea who he is, and he's saying there's a hacked up murdered body, and I'm just gonna stroll into the forest with this maniac.
Back that way about 50 yards.
Okay.
What the fuck? 50 yards?
When I walked into the village,
Half a football field.
laying on the ground.
I'm gonna follow this
Did you
maniac.
Did pick up the knife.
Okay. Well, we're gonna need to get fingerprints from you, okay?
No problem. I walked by the top, and you couldn't see James.
Okay.
And then Alan walked by the truck and goes, "What's that?" And he picked the truck up with his stickies on his hand, and James was laying there face down, and I dropped the knife and we left.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna need to get a very detailed statement from you, okay? Just because.
I understand.
Well, the thing is, I'm not accusing you of anything, but you have to be ruled out. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
At this point, the officer can't yet confirm Robert's story, but with a dead body reported, he has no choice but to push deeper into the woods. However, alone with a suspicious man he's just met and a killer who could be lurking nearby, the officer knows he must proceed with extreme caution.
You just hang on down right here. Go.
Bro, I think this is pretty fucking reckless.
Why would you go alone?
You literally can call. They'll be there in a few minutes. Another few minutes isn't going to matter. And you're wandering with this guy. He's clearly a fucking weirdo. You're wandering into, oh yeah, it's 50 yards. Dude, you know how far 50 yards is? It's half a football field, bro.
Okay, let me get up there and take a look.
What the fuck?
Which one?
Right here, playing.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then you please put in that back stand, please.
All right. Where's the knife?
Dude, this cop either is just shitty. You turn your back to the guy now? The suspect?
Maybe this guy, maybe we're discounting something. Maybe this cop is a fucking badass. And he's like, fuck this. I don't give a fuck.
Badass for being dumb? You put your back to a suspect?
I'm saying maybe this guy is just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I deal with crazies all the time. I don't give a shit. It seems reckless to me, though. Very reckless. Like, is this following procedure?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, just hang out there for me, okay?
Jamie was telling the truth. Wrapped inside the tarp is the body of James Decker. He's lying naked in a pool of his own blood, covered in cuts and scrapes. Realizing the severity of the situation, Officer Azure immediately instructs Jamie to head back while he investigates further. That's when Officer Azure begins to hear some unsettling noises.
I'm not sure if it's a person or I'm not sure what it is, but I've got.
Bro, this isn't just me.
Like I said, I'm running back to the car.
Bro, don't. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I don't care if you have a fucking bazooka with you. You don't know where the sounds are, what it is, animal, man, creature. You don't know what. This can't be procedure, bro. This can't be normal procedure for a situation like this. Did you hear that sound? I mean, come on, brother.
That movement east of my location in the woods. Sounds like it's heading this way. Hey, LT.
Fortunately for Officer Azure, backup arrived just in time, providing some relief from whatever might have been lurking in the forest.
There's nothing for y'all to check. He's cold to the touch. All right, we got knife right here, body here, tents, whole camp spread up back here. We've also got one outstanding.
What the hell are you talking about?
There's 2 people who live in this camp.
And one's not here?
And one's outstanding at the moment.
Did you find the knife?
Yeah.
I got a knife right here.
There's no blood on it, though.
Well, there's something right there, but hey, did you still got those 2 guys tinfoiled up front?
Yeah, they're standing there waiting for us.
Look at these 2 fucking beauts. Look at these 2 beauties.
These guys just look like they murder.
If you had a lineup, and I looked at these 2 guys, I'd be like, they look like murderers to me.
They look like they're murderers. They like murdering.
They look like they've committed homicide and tried to cover it up.
They look like they have fun murdering around, running around murdering. In their forest. They have a forest. They murder in it. They trap people.
I mean, yeah.
Good, because one that led me back touched the knife, so we need to get his prints and a statement off him. The other one touched the tarp.
Los, how about you murder my tiny pussy?
This is what this has become.
Buds.
This is a sad... I'm going to tell you right now, this is a sad state of affairs.
They found out what was going on and they took off. I checked the camp and he's the only one back here.
I got the name of the person that he was arguing with at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so... And I've got what looks like maybe his clothes right over there.
Jesus Christ.
So he's naked and there's some clothes right there on the fire.
As medical staff arrives and examines the body more closely, they observe a brutal manner of death, blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, and something even more disturbing, gasoline, found in James's lungs and stomach. Detectives are left with a burning question. Why would a victim have gasoline inside him? However, this would be only one of the many disturbing details officers uncover at the scene.
Hey, Seth, take a look at this for me. What is that? Is that just soot weared off on that, or? I mean, it looks awful shiny.
Where he has been stabbed, just from what I can see. But he is butt naked, face down on a tarp with his upper torso covered, so definitely not. And definitely somebody's here. So I don't know what his face looks like. If he was stabbed in the neck or the face, the blood may be hidden by the tarp. I'm not seeing any obvious blood. Apparently the witness picked up the knife, and the knife has like a Russian string around it. Oh, there's blood on it. Yeah, the tarp's brown, but there's blood.
Why would you touch the knife?
Maybe he like came up on the knife first and was like, "What the fuck is that?" Picked it up, and then he saw everything.
Blood all over the tarp, like blood splatter.
It looks like, I mean, he was moved post-mortem. You can tell by the way he was dressed.
Oh, he's got his fucking leaf in his ass crack.
Yeah. That's hollow down below, you see that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Almost looks like the carbon open. Missing the one eye. You see that?
Fucking nuts.
Unless, let's go Among Us right now. It's a video game. What if he's self-reporting? Like, you kill a guy, then you immediately go to the cops, you go, "Look, I just found this." That's low-key kind of smart. Because now you kind of are like, "Yeah, no, dude, I just stumbled upon this shit." Like, I know, but then they're gonna check him for blood on his clothes. You know what I mean? That's hard to do, dude. You can't do. Yeah, but he's cold to the touch. He could have went and showered and everything.
No, the guy.
No, I know. The victim is cold. He could have been dead for mad long. That guy could have went home, showered, got rid of all his bloody shit, and now he walks up like, "Oh shit, yeah, I don't know."
Like the perfect crime.
Artist. Slow gas. Slow gas?
Oh, they had to cut that with a chainsaw, right? And it looks like.
You can slow gas right now.
Yeah.
By now, officers were certain they had a murder on their hands. The injuries to the body, the bloody knife, and the presence of gasoline all point to one thing. This wasn't just a killing, but a calculated act where the victim had likely been tortured for hours. With this in mind, officers would return to question Jamie, the man who had originally called 911, and what Jamie reveals would soon lead investigators directly to the killer. But before we continue, it's worth noting that tragic work simply a few or back to the investigation. Officers were about to speak again with Jamie, one of the eyewitnesses, and he would provide them with their biggest lead yet.
So I heard arguing and stuff. So I go through the woods, go to this camp.
So you
I
left.
walk back to the camp because, you know, all these people argue all the time about dumb shit. It's been a while now, and I haven't heard anything from James or anybody over there. So I go over there to me and my friend that's with Officer now. Go over there, right? So when I walk, get to a certain point, I see a tarp laying there beside this tree, which is never there.
And inside
the tarp is, I don't even know if it's James or.
All right. Well, we're gonna get it figured out, okay? Do you know James' last name? Do you know James' last name?
No, ma'am.
No.
I'm talking about the person who did this,
36.
because I know who it is. Dusty McDonald. That lives right up. He just got the complaint this morning. Man come down there with a hatchet, threatening, chopping shit up. Called it in, sheriff's department. They come over, they talked to him, they told him that they're gonna go over and talk to him to stay away.
And James is the one who called.
No, ma'am.
Who called this morning? Rick. Okay. Do you know
Rick
Rick's
is
last
the one
name?
who stays there.
Okay.
No, ma'am, but Rick is the one who stays there. James is a friend of everybody's, but he was staying up there with.
First of all, I'm confused. Are these homeless people? Like what?
What kind of like community is this where they know all the homeless? Like, I'm so confused.
And what's behind them? Like an industrial building? Like what is that? Like it's not just some random that's like a building, some sort of like storage facility, warehouse.
Is this a homeless community?
I don't know, but the guy looked like he was coming out of a house, so I don't think it's a homeless community. But what I'm saying is, I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the shape of these people. What the fuck, man?
By his name.
According to Jamie, a man named Dusty McDonald had attacked another man, Rick, with a hatchet earlier that day. Police were called, but were unable to locate or confront Dusty at the time. While this incident was concerning, it wasn't enough on its own to establish Dusty as a primary suspect. Until nearly every witness interviewed pointed to him as well. Eventually, officers had gathered enough statements to justify bringing Dusty in for questioning. All they needed now was to find him. As police began searching for Dusty, other officers on scene would sit down with the two 911 callers to piece together a timeline. According to them, the day had started with unsettling signs that something was off.
Okay. We both went down. We're right here. Okay. We wanted to go check on our family. He's wrapped up in his tarp.
Okay.
Sir,
we came back
I heard arguing earlier, right?
We know who was down there, sir.
Arguing.
Okay.
So I walked down through the woods. I seen Dusty have James on the ground. He was saying, you shouldn't talk shit about this, that. You know what I'm saying? I heard, like, oh, they just getting shit up, you know what I mean? But I never hear nothing from over there no more. I'm like,
You know Dusty's real name or?
Dusty McDonald.
Did you say that James called them today and said, hey?
Nope, Rick.
Oh, Rick called.
Rick. James was there.
Dusty went over there and cut his tent with
cut him
machete.
up, threatened with a machete, cut his tent up, all kind of shit.
They called the police. I was
called the police, made a report, and the police just said, stay away from him. There's a tarp laying beside a tree that's never there, because I live here, and I took the stick and went. When I flipped it up, I seen legs.
Based on these witness accounts, officers now have a fairly detailed picture of what likely unfolded just hours earlier. They also have a lead suspect, Dusty McDonald, a name one of the officers happened to be familiar with.
I think they already brought up his name, but Dustin McCormick.
Yeah, Dusty.
Dusty,
Yeah,
supposedly general and some militia come down there this morning with a machete and started hacking up some of the tents so he wanted to clear the area. Said he's Signal 20 and off his meds.
They said Dusty. They said Dusty's the one that's outstanding. Yeah, they said this guy Dusty left from over here like later in the evening.
By now, it was clear Dusty had likely been involved in the murder, and with Jamie and Robert's statements in hand, police began piecing together the sequence of events leading up to the brutal killing. Earlier that day, Rick, another man who lived at the camps, had called 911 claiming a Dusty McDonald had slashed his tent with a machete while searching for a man named James, even threatening him in the process. Later that afternoon, Dusty managed to find James, and witnesses reported hearing arguing from the camp. When they checked to see what was going on, they saw Dusty on top of James, wrestling and yelling. It didn't appear to be anything more than a heated argument, so they returned to their camp. However, hours would pass, and nobody had heard from James. Robert and Jamie began to worry and decided to go looking for him, and that's when they found a blue tarp covering James's lifeless body. Nearly all witness accounts lined up perfectly with this timeline of events, making the next step for officers clear: arrest Dusty and bring him in for interrogation. Fortunately, since officers had begun the work of locating him earlier that day, they already had Dusty's address. Soon after, they surrounded the house, ready to move in.
Is that window broken?
Sheriff Officer, put a knife down, man. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out.
I don't have anything in my hand.
Come on.
Please, I don't
Come
have
on.
anything in my hand.
Come on out.
I'm right here, sir.
Come on out.
Dude, I'm right here.
Dusty.
Okay. Dude, yeah.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Dude, the man just tried to light me on fire, dude. Y'all know what happened down there. That man tried to light me on fire, man. It's all on surveillance, dude.
Listen, Dusty, you try to do things stupid, the dog's gonna bite you, understand?
Oh, not even on, guy. I'm not.
Wait, who set who on fire?
Sir,
this guy Dusty said he tried to set me on fire. So you killed him. So you didn't run away. You just killed a guy. Okay.
I mean, if someone tries to set you on fire, you can kill them.
Murdered me down there and
If
light
that's
me on
true,
fire.
that
Dusty's behavior would be bizarre from the start, immediately insisting that James tried to set him on fire and that the officers, quote, already know what happened down there. Whether he's trying to claim self-defense or is just completely unhinged is anyone's guess.
Sorry, walk this with me. Yeah, dude. Sorry, you know what happened down there.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Dude, the man tried to light me on fire as I kind
Okay, just listen.
Okay,
We've got one side.
Okay.
That's why you need to come with us. Okay? I know you are.
With the supposed killer in custody, officers concluded the
Bro, the guy tried to set him on fire with gasoline and he's smoking a cigarette. Yeah, what's wrong with that picture? The guy got gasoline and he's walking out with a cigarette in his mouth.
disturbing on-scene investigation and began preparing for interrogation. If Dusty was their killer, given what had been done...
Who the fuck carved that?
What do you mean? People carve things. That doesn't mean anything. People carve things. What?
I'm just saying, that looks good.
Oh.
Well... What?
To the victim's body, it pointed to someone deeply disturbed. That suspicion would soon be confirmed. By now, Dusty had already raised serious concerns. He had slashed Rick's tent and threatened him. On top of that, multiple witnesses had just reported seeing him argue with James hours before the murder. However, despite how clear things seemed, there was one major complication. Dusty was claiming self-defense. He alleged that James had thrown gasoline on him and threatened to set him on fire. This wasn't a claim detectives could easily dismiss, especially given the distinct smell of gasoline at the scene, meaning there was a possibility he could get away with his crime. Even though it's clear who's behind the murder at this point, Dusty's story now carries a shred of credibility. Detectives have one goal: to break that story, either by disproving his self-defense claim using witness statements, or, ideally, by getting it.
Bro, if I kill you,
yeah,
and it was a self-defense situation, are you not going to call the police?
So,
no, what I'm asking you is, are you not going to call the police? You're just going to go back to your house and wait for them to show up? I don't know.
Confession. Either way, the investigation is about to get a lot more complicated. To move forward, detectives start by bringing in people from the encampment who knew Dusty well and interacted with him regularly. If Dusty had a pattern of violent behavior, these individuals were the most likely to have seen it firsthand.
My goal here is to kind of get, from your perspective, kind of what you saw, what you heard.
Well, he ain't really been fucking with me at all. I ain't never had no crosswords. He's always insistent, oh, come up there and do your laundry and all that shit, you know. Come up there and get a shower, that's what it was. Come and get a shower, come get a shower all the time. So I fucked up, got a shower and give him $2 afterwards, you know, just a gesture.
Rick explains that Dusty often
Is that guy speaking English? Like, what? He sounds like the fucking prospector. Like the old prospector. Like, you know those guys from those old-timey prospector movies, and you can't understand a fucking word they're saying? I gotta hear that again.
Is to kind of get, from your perspective, kind of what you saw, what you heard.
Well, he ain't really been fucking with me at all. I ain't never had no crosswords. He's always insistent, oh, come up there and do your laundry and all that shit, you know. Come up there and get a shower, that's what it was. Come and get a shower, come get a shower all the time. So I
you know what that
up,
sounds like?
Got a shower and give him $2 afterwards, you know, just a gesture.
You know
Rick
is
this a joke?
Dude, that sounds like Rocky's trainer.
Mickey?
Sounds like
I could somewhat understand Mickey. This guy, what? Holy shit.
explains that Dusty often offered showers and laundry to homeless individuals in the area, sometimes charging a small fee. This catches the attention of detectives. These seemingly generous acts may be a part of a larger pattern of manipulation, a way for Dusty to assert control over the homeless community. It's a detail that could support their efforts to build a stronger case against him.
I tried my best to get along with him. You know, he had a shower that we all used, you know, sometimes try to keep him good with him for those reasons and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Never my wildest dreams.
So this guy is manipulating the homeless community by allowing them to shower in his place. He manipulates the homeless community. So there's just random homeless guys running all over the place, and he lives there, and they know him, and they come in and they shit in his house, and they take showers. What the fuck is happening right now? You're just letting homeless, and then what happened? Then you just kill one of them? Jesus Christ!
I think he was capable of murdering. That's honest truth. I was just over there basically using his necessities like we all were. When we got a chance to, you know, shower. Usually offered it. That's his way of making friends with us, I think. I had stayed with him before, and he kicked me out. I thought I was in a light, so I was taking pictures of him and stuff like that with my phone, and I didn't have a phone. You know? Like, I saw you taking pictures of me with your phone. I said, I don't even have a phone. He said, you gotta go. So I left. Like that.
Dusty lives in a house near the homeless camps, a property owned by his grandfather. At first, much like Rick, Busby describes Dusty as someone who seems generous, allowing members of the homeless camp to use his home for basic amenities. As investigators continue interviewing members of the homeless community, a more troubling picture of Dusty begins to emerge.
This guy, wait. This fucking guy, his house is near a homeless community. And so he befriends the homeless men, and they come in and use his toilet and his shower. Okay. Right.
He has a history of strange and violent behavior marked by paranoia and delusions. However, officers face a challenge. The interviews so far have been too vague, highlighting patterns of behavior but lacking concrete details to build a solid case. This leads detectives back to Jamie, the original 911 caller and the person with the clearest recollection of events so far. And he's able to offer meaningful insight into who Dusty really is.
Mr. Owen, my role here in all this, it's just kind of to get from your perspective, your side of things, what you saw, what you
It's Ben.
Who the fuck is
Ben?
Oh, the cops.
observed.
Man came to my camp last night.
Mm-hmm.
I used to stay up there with him. He's a violent person.
Okay.
His papa was the one who let me stay there because he's the one who owns the property.
So apparently this guy Dusty just allows these random homeless men to stay with him, and then something happens and he kicks them out. And this guy just said, well, his pawpaw let me stay there.
You think he put a camera in the bedroom?
I think this guy, I'm going to tell you right now, I think this guy Dusty is having sex with these men. And I think it's a sexual thing. I think they're having sex. I think it's a sexual thing. I think he's allowing them to stay and shower in exchange for sexual favors. This guy just said, Dusty's peepaw let me stay there because his peepaw owns the fucking place, owns the place.
Yeah, peepaw.
Where Dusty is staying. He said his pawpaw. He called him pawpaw. And so I think there's a whole sex thing going on. I think it's like, you know what I think this is like? I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is like Dirty Mike and the boys. I think what they do, I think they all go to Dusty.
Instead of a car, they use a house.
I think they go to Dusty's house and they turn it into a soup kitchen. I think they turn it into what they call a soup kitchen. It's a bunch of old homeless guys having an orgy.
What does a soup kitchen have to do with this?
No, because when they had sex in Alan's Prius, that what the cop said is that they call that a soup kitchen. when they had sex in his Prius. And what's happening here is that now I'm figuring this out. This is some sort of like underground, bizarre sex, like almost like a sexual fight club. And this guy Dusty,
what the fuck is a sexual fight club?
What, instead of them fighting, they're all doing different sexual things with each other. This guy Dusty he's like kind of in control of all of them because he actually has a roof over his head, and the rest of them are homeless, and so he lets them use like the toilet bowl and the shower, and he gets involved in all this weird shit. Something went awry, like a lover spat, you know. Something went awry with like a lover's sexual spat, and he wound up killing that guy Jimmy. Mark my words.
Don't stay there. It's because you don't do what he says, and he gets all angry and threatens you, and he just crazy shit. I said, well,
What, does he even carry?
He had a stick this time. But he's either got a stick, a machete, or a knife. He carries like 3 or 4 knives on him. Machete, sticks. He's like, he thinks he's Rambo.
While Dusty had a reputation as a bully who routinely harassed the homeless community, no one expected his behavior to escalate to cold-blooded murder. His so-called generosity, offering his home for showers and laundry, masked a deeper need for control and manipulation. The same people he claimed to help
What happened?
were also the ones he intimidated and threatened, revealing a warped sense of power and superiority. In the end, this contradiction may have set the stage for the gruesome murder. When Dusty was brought in for questioning, his demeanor was strangely calm. At this point, he seems to believe that he is seen as a victim of an attack by this homeless man. He didn't seem like he was in his right mind at all. Detectives were hoping to learn about Dusty's side of the story, but instead were met with, well, a lot of nonsense.
You know I'm an owl, right?
You're what?
You know I'm an owl, right?
Okay.
You know what that means, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, thank you. Golly. Thank you. This has been a really hard day. Sir, I waved all right there a long time ago. I still have a great sense of innocence within me if it ain't obvious to you this time.
Bro, these guys, categorically across the board, have the fucking worst haircuts I've ever seen. Have you seen the hair?
I can't even like really see.
No, the hairdos on these guys are insane. I don't know if they cut. My thought is this: if I'm just like a homeless dude, why not just fucking buzz all your hair off, and you don't have to worry about washing your hair or making it look whatever. Like these are some crazy fucking hairdos on these guys.
Throughout his interrogation, Dusty's responses are filled with incoherent delusions and deflections. In Dusty's mind, he's, quote, an owl, constantly watched, monitored, and under surveillance. It's clear that without his medication, his schizophrenia is spiraling out of control.
And I'm handling it remarkably well. Jesus, man, that was some crazy shit, man. And still be able to get us some usable intel. You'll get why staying at that place is so dangerous for me. I know a lot of trust is getting to me or like that, but man, thank you for saying you'll be able to talk about this.
Dusty seems to believe he's outsmarted the cops, thinking he's there to provide valuable intel as the victim. But he will soon find out that he's actually a suspect in the cold-blooded murder of an innocent man.
I haven't shed a tear all day, I've been going hard, I'm so exhausted.
How long have you been doing it?
What, this kind of work? Not very long. That was my first. I think everybody knows that. From the get-go. Thank you for this deep psychological diagnosis. It's helping a lot.
Good.
Listening closely to Dusty's words, it seems as if he's openly admitting to the murder. Although his statement is scattered and unclear, it gives detectives the impression that he's acknowledging responsibility without fully grasping the seriousness of his actions. But Dusty's bizarre admissions wouldn't stop there, as he continues rambling incoherently.
I was brushing, and then he throws that gasoline on me, because you saw how I was rolled up down there. Dude, I thought I was just doing it for the other. You know what I mean? Because that was my intention. Everybody knows that. I then managed to hit that Neo UI and come out like that. I don't know how I do it sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, when I'm just experimenting in the house with blades, like before back when I took the butcher knife and threw it and curved on it, like that. I mean, I don't know how I do it, sir. I just know with my beautiful mind that it's a three-way. Yeah. You know, it's the photographic, the audiogenic intake, and then the living intake. Yeah.
Bro, this guy's like bipolar schizophrenic. This guy's all fucked up. This guy's totally mentally ill. No, this is what this is.
You know how I know he's mentally ill?
Go ahead.
Because he's a piece of fabric between his toes.
You know,
so you're going on record. You're going on record officially saying, if you wear flip flops, you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to get that out of the way. So clearly, this guy is a paranoid schizophrenic. Bipolar. This guy is all over the place. He's clearly off his medication, and he's rambling incoherently, making positively no fucking sense whatsoever. The guy clearly is mentally ill, so, all right.
Everything I'm so amazed at that I'm just like, oh God. Man, I never thought it would be something like that, but my God, what that thing was.
While Dusty's ramblings could be interpreted as an admission that James was his first murder, the statement is buried in a mix of delusions about retinoids, his photographic memory, and other incoherent claims. The detective picks up on this and pushes further, trying to separate fact from fiction in Dusty's fractured account.
What's kind of sad here, though, honestly, I don't want to name names, but I told you, a very good friend of mine that I grew up with, his uncle was a college professor, like a really, really brilliant guy, PhD, the whole bit, right?
Yeah.
He was bipolar schizophrenic. Yeah. He would go off of his medications, and he thought he was a Native American. Yeah. And he would wander the streets, and he would get into some crazy shit. He would get arrested. But when he was on his meds, he was like a brilliant guy. It's one of the saddest things you've ever seen, dude. It's very sad. Very, very fucking sad.
Verify everything that I can see elsewhere. I'm trying to. I know you're not mad at me. That's just, I don't want you to think I'm asking questions.
So many others, like, I think my personality is, I can't talk to people.
I can. Yeah. But I don't want you to think I'm being an expert.
I am very relieved.
So yes, I have seen the movie A Beautiful Mind, and it's exactly, you know, what we're talking about. Someone who has this type of mental illness. They're a brilliant person, and it's just it's heartbreaking and sad. This guy clearly is not. Yeah, there's something going on here.
We were having this conversation.
Dusty claims he's not mad and that people don't understand how he communicates. This shows he might have a twisted view of himself, possibly because of paranoia, delusions, or mental illness. What's strange is how calm and relieved Dusty seems. Most guilty people would be nervous or scared during an interrogation, but Dusty is different. He seems to still believe he's the victim and doesn't grasp the seriousness of his actions. Instead of taking responsibility, he thinks people just don't understand him. This becomes even clearer when Dusty asks one final question to the detective.
Will I be able to go home?
I'm going to figure that out.
Yeah, because am I going to jail or we're going down the dance?
We're going to have to figure that kind of out because you know how this thing kind of goes from here.
I guess.
I'm going to come talk to you about it just a little bit. Okay?
After this bizarre exchange, the detective had heard enough to know it was time to wrap up the interrogation. Dusty's lack of remorse and distorted grip on reality made it clear they were dealing with someone who didn't fully understand the weight of his actions. According to the pathology report, the victim, James Leidendecker, was subjected to horrific torture before his death. His body showed severe blunt force trauma, including cuts, bruises, and fractures to his face, nose, ears, and mouth. His eyes had severe bleeding, and many of his teeth were broken. The injuries also extended to his neck, with heavy bleeding in the muscles and a broken hyoid bone, suggesting he had been strangled. His torso displayed several broken ribs, and internal bleeding was found in his chest and abdomen. One of the most disturbing details from the report was that James had been exposed to gasoline. His skin had begun to slough off in areas, and a strong smell of gasoline was found on his arms, thighs, and hands.
Bro, this guy was fucking beaten, tortured. They made him drink gasoline.
Like,
holy fuck! This fucking guy did some number on this dude. Holy shit!
What the fuck, man?
Brother.
Gasoline was also detected in his lungs and stomach, indicating he had inhaled and swallowed it before he died. This made the murder even more gruesome. Dusty was processed for forensic evidence and transported to the Leon County Detention Facility. The witness statements, his vague confession, and the forensic evidence from the scene were enough to formally charge him. Dusty McDonald was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, and as of this video's upload, his case remains ongoing.
Jesus Christ, bro.